What's up, y'all? What's up? This is the first episode of Welcome to the Real World by me, of course, Ron Prince. For any of you guys who don't know what my real name is, I'm sure anybody who grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, you know who I am. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, that's that big-headed dude who thinks he's the best singer in the world, right? Because I do music, I sing, and I rap. So, but my real name is Rufus Whiters, and but my entertainer name is Ron Prince. So you know what I mean. I prefer to be called Ron Prince, or you can just call me Ronnie. I just prefer that. You know what I mean. I like that name better than Rufus. I used to get picked on. Everybody used to be like, "Oh, Rufus the Doofus," stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I love my name. You know what I mean. It was my father's name. So I love my name. It's just Ron Prince seems a little more catchy. So I know what you guys are thinking. You know what I mean? This guy is a funny-looking guy who just started up a show, and he thinks he's going to get a lot of viewers and stuff like that. Yeah, I do. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to get a lot of viewers. You know what I'm saying? This is the introduction. So, this is the first episode, like I said. I consider this the introduction to my show. On this show, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of things. Now, like I told you, my name is Ron Prince. This show is called Welcome to the Real World. And anytime you're looking to find an episode on my show, always type in Ron Prince, Welcome to the Real World. Episode 1, 2, da-da-da. But I plan on having at least 3 seasons of this. And I do a season every summer. I only shoot in the summer. I don't shoot in the spring. I don't shoot in the winter or the fall. It's only for like half of spring and like the rest of summer. So on this show, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. I got some special guests I'm going to be bringing on the show. I'm going to bring guests on the show. I'm going to bring a lot of different people on the show to talk about a lot of different topics. You know what I mean? Like such as Black history. We're going to be talking about that. One of my favorite people is Tariq Nasheed. If you don't know how to spell that, it's spelled Tarique, then Nasheed, Nasheed. He's one of my favorite activists about Black Lives Matter and, all of that. So if you want to understand what I'm going to be talking about, just research him. Also, not just Black history, but entertainment. We're going to be talking about artists, celebrities, the latest news on that, the latest gossip, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you think I'm a funny-looking dude, by the way, it's okay. I'm going to be getting my braces. I'm very big on appearances, so I'm finally going to go get some braces on September. I've been working out. My haircut usually looks a lot better than this, but I'm getting ready to grow out my waves, so I cut it all off just so I can start it from the bottom up. You know what I mean? With my hairline and the waves and all that. So my look is really good. Like if you want to see how I look typically, I typically look better. Go on my Facebook page. It's Ron Prince. Or you can go to my Instagram, and that's Rufus Whiters, at Ron Prince. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Entertainment, celebrities, Black history. We're going to be talking about homelessness. We're going to be talking about serious stuff. We're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of gossip. We're going to talk about random people. How I live here in Lincoln, Nebraska, by the way. I'm from Omaha, but I live here in Lincoln. We're going to be talking about Lincoln, Nebraska, all the resources from here. I'm going to be interviewing people at homeless shelters. I'm going to be, talking to homeless guys on the street, asking them questions, interviewing them just to get their opinion about this subject. Every subject I dive in pretty deep, and I try to interview somebody about it. But since this is just the introduction, it's just all about me, getting to know me and getting to know what this show is going to be about, And also on the show, I'm going to be teaching you guys things too. Every show I'm going to give you guys some type of lesson. Like I'm a barber, I'm getting ready to go to barber school. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to cut hair. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do eyebrows. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do makeup. And men and women can wear makeup. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not a biased person really. I'm kind of by the book type of person. Like in the book, it says we're not supposed to discriminate. So I don't discriminate on people with their race, gender, or background or ethnicity. So we're all human. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes. We all bleed red. We all have feelings. And that's another thing we're going to be talking about on the show is sociology. Psychology, sociology, how people interact with people, the discrimination, going into detail of racial profiling or just profiling, and certain scenarios. We're going to be talking about women on the show, misogyny, talking about how women can be misogynistic towards men, and definitely how men typically can be. We're going to talk about stereotyping racially and also gender-wise. So, you know, this show has a lot of different things that we're getting ready to do, man, and it's going to be a very fun show. Like I said, I do music, so on this show, this is basically, I see this show as another form of promotion from when I get ready to start dropping all my music and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to be singing live for you guys a lot. I'm going to be playing music that I'm working on in the studio. You know, this is another, like, promotion thing, you know, that I'm doing for my music, because I'm really an artist, you know what I mean? I'm really an actor. But right now, like I said, I'm working on my image. You know, I'm working out, getting ready to start getting my hair cut. All of that. I know I keep moving the camera around too. That's because I'm holding up a phone. I wanted to get a camera and everything like that and hook it up like that, but I'll do that next season, hopefully. But this season is just going to be like the cheapest. This is a low budget show right now. Okay, right now it is. Hopefully I can upgrade every year. You know what I mean? Next year I'll have a camera. Next year it'll be a lot bigger and better. Maybe I can have it even a theme song. You know what I mean? Like a theme song like, oh. Ron Prince, welcome to the real world. Oh, yeah, babe. You know what I mean? Something, you know what I mean? A little theme song. Actual, you know, camera-friendly shots. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be pretty cool, you know what I mean? Just bear with me. But you know what? This is the introduction. So, welcome to the real world. So, we're going to get into something. I want to talk about this first episode. I want to talk about Chris Brown. Now, each episode is about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on if I have a person to interview or not. If I don't have a person to interview, typically it's just about 15 minutes. If I'm interviewing somebody, I like to have a 30-minute session, you know. 10 minutes of like an introduction of me just talking, and then like another 10 minutes of like interviewing. Then the last 10 minutes is like me leaving like a benediction or like a conclusion to the whole show. So next week, I come out with a show every 2 weeks. So next week after the next, you know, I'm going to be interviewing a person about Black history. We're going to be bringing to you guys facts about Black history that you either don't know or do know. We're going to elaborate on those. We're going to talk about it, you know, what Black history means and what it is and what we should know about history and a lot of different things, you know, Black empowerment, what we think is going on, how racial things still are nowadays, and how things are getting worse and less subliminal, more blatant, more outwardly seen. You know, people are being more bold about how racist they are. You know, they're not really holding back anymore. I think because we have Trump in office, but we'll get more to that later on. But we want to talk about Chris Brown. Chris Brown, what is he doing nowadays, right? You know, before I talk about Chris Brown, I want to tell you one thing. You know, being an artist nowadays is totally different than being an artist when Chris Brown first came out. Okay, now the industry obviously has changed. They put less money into the artist, you know what I mean? And they're only willing to put more money into artists such as Chris Brown, who they know they're going to get their money back. You know, when Chris Brown first came out, you know, every artist, it didn't matter who you were, they gave you at least a $500,000 budget, it looked like, and more than that, you know what I'm saying? Artists probably really were getting more money, even though artists have been robbed since forever, you know what I mean? In every artist movie, you see an artist not getting all his money. So you just got to expect that with the game. But, you know, Chris Brown isn't as big as he was when he first came out, but then again, he is. But to me, he just doesn't, his career, his image isn't as good as it was when he first came out. You know, he was a pretty boy when he first came out. Everybody was jealous of him. I know I was. Of a light-skinned dude who can dance, sing, and all of that. And then he was a pretty boy on top of that. He was a pretty boy on top of a car dancing, talking about yo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we compete? If you're an artist, you thought that way. How can I compete with this? You know what I mean? The fact that Chris Brown came and changed the game. You know what I mean? He changed the game in a way where it was like, we cannot compete with that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to dance, if you can't really sing, you know, on his level, like, you can't compete with that. So that was my concern when Chris Brown first came out, is I couldn't compete. And then I kind of thought about going gay, okay, because Chris Brown is that good looking, okay, and he was really singing the panties off of ladies. But of course I'm not gay. I love the women, okay. You know, nothing against gay people, like I said. Um, you know, the reason why I named this show "Welcome to the Real World" is because a lot of people live in a fantasy. A lot of people live in delusion, and this show is to give people a reality check. I feel like I'm the realest dude in the world, and therefore I'm bringing my gift of being able to analyze the reality of life to you. You know what I mean? I'm teaching people reality, right from wrong, and what's good, what's not, and also the truth. You know, I'm here to teach you guys. Like when I teach you guys how to cut hair, I want to really teach you how to do it. I want to give you direct tips on how to cut hair. You know, I'm not going to like beat around the bush. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to try to stall it. I'm not going to try to do anything to try to evade from teaching you actual tips. Because usually when I watch something, when you look at YouTube or something, people teach you stuff, but it's so dragged out. Like they teach you something at the end. You know what I mean? After they get done talking, your ears all the way off. So with me, I'm such a real dude that I'm here to just teach you. Okay, I'm not trying to run no game on you. I'm just going to do what I said I was going to do, and that's just teach you. Thank God that He made me that honest and it's able to work for me. You know what I mean? Because when you find a guy that real, all you see is people taking advantage of somebody that real. So you know what I mean? Hopefully, I can make money off of that. Actually, so we'll see what's up. You know. Bear with me, but it's called Welcome to the Real World because I consider what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about it as a reality check for those who are trying to throw a delusional, fantasized narrative out there in the world about each topic I talk about. You know, when you hear people talk about Chris Brown, they always want to say, oh, he beat Rihanna, or, you know what I mean, or the negative stuff about everything, and that's not the real world. If you come from the aspect I'm coming from, and I'm here to give you a reality check, then you will say either that could have been fake, because Chris Brown is Chris Brown. Why would he risk his career just to hit somebody? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Was that even real? You know what I'm saying? And people are going to say, yeah, that was real. How could you say that wasn't real? Do we know it was real? Were we there? That could have been a publicity stunt, as far as we know. Chris Brown probably never spent a day in jail, in reality. You know how in the industry they come up with all kind of fake stuff. You think you're looking at Michael Jackson, but that ain't the real Michael Jackson. That ain't the real Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand how false the government and the industry can be. And you know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Omarion. I know you guys probably don't talk about him no more, but you know the Millennial Tour is kind of bringing his name back up. But I've always been a fan since day one, and I'm still a fan. You know what I mean? Nothing can make me not be a fan because I'm loyal like that. So when he came out with his album Illusion, Omarion, I see the interview he did, and he was talking about how everything in the industry can be an illusion. You know what I mean? And that's why he called it Illusion, because you don't know what's real and what's not sometimes. You know, he even came out with a song called Made for TV, like, I don't want something that's made for TV, rather fall in love with the girl that's made for me. I know everybody thinks that it might sound crazy, but I love my baby, I can't leave alone. You know what I'm saying? And that song was about having fake relationships in the industry for a publicity stunt. You know, a publicity stunt just means that it's a ploy, or you're doing something just to be more famous. You're lying or creating a false connection to upgrade your status. You know, like I act like I'm dating this person so I can become more popular, or I do this so I can be more popular. That's all that he was talking about in the industry, and everything's an illusion. So you don't know what's real and what's not. So with Chris Brown, you know, you don't know if he really hit Rihanna or not, first off. And I've never heard anybody say that other than me. But also, and that's what makes my show so different, because I have a gift for being real. But Chris Brown, I'm still a huge fan of Chris Brown. He's still number one. He's the only artist that can be Michael Jackson. He's the only artist that's bringing R&B back, keeping it alive. If there was no Chris Brown, R&B would be completely dead. Chris Brown is the only artist that I respect that's light-skinned, because he's such a real nigga. Chris Brown is light-skinned, but he has dark-skinned tendencies, if you ask me. He's a real nigga. Like, he's real. His narrative is real. The way he talks is real. He's real. You know what I'm saying? He's not just a pretty boy that's like, yeah, I'm a pretty boy. Look at how I look. Now, he was kind of like that in the beginning, because that's how they was probably prepping him to be. But also, he was probably just a little cocky because, you know, he was good-looking. He could dance and do all of that. But he still was real, though. Like, you know, his questions was real and everything. But Chris Brown, his career is still major. I think that he needs to come back out with a clean image again. Because that's why I fell in love with Chris Brown. Because, when he first came out, he was like, I'm a virgin. You know what I mean? I'm Chris Brown. I'm light-skinned. I'm beautiful. I can sing high notes. I can dance. I love my mom. He had such a clean image. But then all of a sudden, he did a total 360 on you as soon as you turn 18. You know what I mean? Talking about, I'm ready to smash this girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, all right, Chris, we know you're turning 18. You're not a virgin anymore. But gosh, Lee, we like the clean image. But the more you get into the world, the more you have to compromise and conform to it. So I get it. That's probably not really who he is. But he had to become that, in order to, keep his fans, So, Chris Brown, his career is still good. He's still a good person. It's just that he has to do bad things to keep his image up. Keep his name popular and stuff, So just have mercy on Chris Brown and understand that Chris Brown will always be the best. He is the best. You should give him that award by now. I've never seen an artist with the full package like him. And I'm sure there's many artists out there who have that full package but never got a chance because it's Chris Brown's time and they wouldn't let any other artists in the industry because of Chris Brown, too. You got to think about it. Like Usher had to take a seat. All these other artists had to take a seat. Marcus Houston, because it was Chris Brown. They probably put it in people's contract like, okay, we're going to have to sit back and let Chris Brown dominate. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what? Chris Brown is definitely, he hasn't done anything bad in a while, but I noticed he hasn't done any interviews either. So hopefully he can start giving us more. I know he's getting older. He's probably getting a little more tired. He wants to relax and probably retire a little bit. But, I think he has so much more to do because he has so much credibility that will never die. His career is always going to be as good as it was in the beginning. We're always going to be as interested and curious about his career as when we first met him. So, yeah, everybody, everyone who watches this, I know I'm looking bad today, but the fact that I'm a barber and I care about appearance, you guys are going to be seeing me upgrade. Next time I'll dress better for you guys. I was unprepared. Today was just a total freestyle. I didn't even write a script for this show. I just told myself I got to come out with something. So this is all just a freestyle. This is just the introduction. And the next time, I'll probably be interviewing somebody. We'll probably talk about something more political next time or maybe comedy, something. But yeah, stay tuned, you know what I mean? And Ron Prince, that's my name. You will be hearing more of me. And I will be going. Actually, another thing, one last thing before I leave. I am getting ready to see August Alsina in August here in Lincoln, and I've been going to the studio. I just came from the studio the other day, and I'm gonna play those songs for y'all when I get done. But the songs that I'm gonna get ready to give to August Alsina when I meet him, I'm gonna pass him a mixtape, and I'm gonna let y'all hear those before I give it to him. And I'm gonna record him in the meet and greet, and I'm gonna record the whole concert, and I'm gonna upload that as a show of Welcome to the Real World. And then the next day, I'm going to upload another show of me talking about the concert and what it was like to meet August Alsina and stuff like that. So you guys stay tuned, man. I got a lot of interesting things I'm getting ready to do. You're going to see me outside walking and talking, interviewing people on the street, interviewing people, all kind of things, asking questions, playing pranks. It's going to be fun. So welcome to the real world. Red pill or blue pill, baby. Peace.